This episode of Your Morning Drive is brought to you by Fireworks Co-working. They are a creative co-working space located in Marietta, Georgia, focused on supporting the local community and uplifting creative entrepreneurs. If you want to try out this beautiful space, this podcast room is just one of the many available rooms and spaces available for you and your company to work at. If you want to try them, you can. Use code DRIVE at checkout and you'll get a free day pass. So, if you're working from home, if you're working at an office that you don't have to go to, if you're tired of working at your kitchen table where you have to listen to your kids or your spouse or the lawn people in the outside cutting the grass and it's too loud for your Zoom meetings. Well, you don't have to worry about that. You can try out Fireworks Co-working in Marietta, Georgia. It's right down the street from Kennestone Hospital. They are the presenting sponsor of Your Morning Drive. They offer me a beautiful space for me to be able to record my podcast with all of the creators, business owners, and other individuals that I get the pleasure of interviewing, and they can be your home too. So either go to the space, tour the place with the staff, tell them Logan Lewis from Your Morning Drive sent you, or if you're booking online, again, use code DRIVE, DRIVE, for a free day pass to try the space. Your Morning Drive is also present to us by Good Days Canned Cocktails. Good Days are a classic cocktail brand created in a convenient, ready-to-drink canned format for any occasion, whether it's a pool day, a boat day, a beach day, a graduation, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, anything in between. Good Days are there for you. Good Days are ahead when they are in your cooler, your fridge, your anything in between. Good Days has your back. If you want to be one of the first to try their drink, you can do so by visiting drinkgooddays.com/pages/find-us to find a store near you selling their drink. Of course, you must be 21 years of age to consume and purchase. Hey friends, another partner of this podcast are the Patch Boys of North Atlanta. If you need top-notch drywall repair and renovation services, the Patch Boys of North Atlanta have you covered. With almost 300 five-star Google reviews, they're a fully insured, locally owned father and son team committed to quality. Their expert technicians deliver seamless repairs, and with the Reno Boys, they handle everything from drywall to full renovations. Plus, they give back by partnering with the Center for Family Resources to reduce childhood homelessness. Trust the Patch Boys of North Atlanta to take care of your home, start to finish. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Your Morning Drive. I am Logan. I am the host with the most. And yeah, we're happy to be back here from the beautiful Fireworks studio in Marietta, Georgia. If you enjoy our show here, make sure you do me a favor and send it to one friend who needs the show in their life. Somebody who might sit at a cubicle and hate their life and they need something to listen to. Someone who has a long commute that needs something new to listen to. Maybe a parent who's tired of waiting in the car line to pick up their kids after a long, long day. Send it to them so they have something to entertain them, inspire them, and motivate them while they're waiting. If you want to send them a link to listen, you can send them an Apple link or a Spotify link. If you want to send them a YouTube link so they can watch in full, they can as well. If you want to do more than just subscribe on those platforms, you can follow on the social medias, on the Facebooks, the Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of the places that everybody tells you to go follow them on. I'd appreciate if you followed along so you could see more about me, clips about our guests, episode announcements, all the things in between, sponsorship information, all of those amazing things. My guest today has been through quite a journey. Buckle up.
Buttercup.
After growing up with an alcoholic father, she joined her family's business on the promise that he'd stay sober. When her grandfather passed a few years ago, Dad sold the business, forcing her to restart at a large agency where she worked her way up, earning some significant titles like National Sales Leader. After refusing to write a policy unethically, she was pushed out and moved to a new leadership role, but a divorce and a subsequent job loss left her struggling. To supplement her income, she launched aMOOsing Designs, creating cow pun art. Finally, she started her own agency, determined to do honest, meaningful work on her own terms. In her first month, she already exceeded her previous best sales month, focusing on commercial insurance and personalized service. Please welcome my new friend, Shelby Hayes.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm great.
Thank you for wanting to do this so quickly.
Good.
It just worked out that way, though.
It really did.
I usually don't have the capacity to be able to do this in the middle of the day like this. So this just worked out.
Yeah, perfect.
And I was thinking about this on the way over here. It's very nice when someone reaches out and they're like, hey, I want to do the show. I want to do it.
Yeah,
rather than me, it does.
Right.
Rather than me having to be in people's DMs and their emails and stuff. It gets exhausting after a period of time. I'm tired of hitting copy paste.
Right.
So when someone's like, hey, I'd love to tell a story, I'm like, hey, let's do it.
I got a hell of a story to tell.
I can't wait to hear it. So who are you?
Shelby Hayes. Hayes is my married name. So I was Shelby King.
Shelby King.
Shelby King. Yes. So, and the King is important here because I still have King. I moved it to my middle name.
Sure.
And the reason I moved it to my middle name was, as you said, I was supposed to take over the family insurance agency too. So it was King and Broom Insurance. We were out of Sandy Springs. My grandfather opened it in the 1950s. And then my dad worked there in the 80s. So like you said, my dad was an alcoholic. He's officially been sober now. I've known him sober longer than I knew him as an alcoholic.
That's amazing. Congrats to Dad.
Congrats to Pops. Yeah. So he's one of those one and done, I think is how they call him. He got his 1 day chip and he never looked back. That's not to say he didn't try quitting before.
Of course.
But the first time he officially started the AA journey, it clicked for him. And I was 19 when he got sober, 18, 19, and I'm not anymore. So, do the math on how old I am now that I've known him longer as a sober guy. So anyway, so he got sober and it was while I was in school at Auburn. I went to Auburn for the first 2 years, had a really good time. Didn't do a whole lot of school.
Sure.
You know how that goes.
Yep.
So anyway, so we made the promise. I was like, look, Dad, as long as you stay sober, I'll come work for the family agency with the hopes of, one day taking over and running it once he retires. So when I got married in 2012, I didn't want to get rid of that last name, that namesake. So I moved it to my middle name and so I could have it in my signature. Yeah.
And then Dad sold the business.
Yes. So he was forced to, if he ever wanted to retire, he had to sell it.
Yeah.
And at the time that we sold it, I did not have any of the assets to be able to buy it from him. So, my grandfather, would love him. He was a great man, but he made some changes in the will in the last year that he was alive. And so they had made an agreement when my grandfather was ready to retire that my dad would just pay him a salary every year. He was smoking a pack of Marlboro Reds a day, drinking like a fish. My dad was like, it's like a 5-year plan. Luckily.
Yeah. A little bit longer than 5 years.
He lived another 20.
Oh my.
Yeah. So my dad ended up paying, almost 3 times what the agency was even worth because of that agreement, just because he lived a long time. So bittersweet, So anyway, but in the last couple of months, he had changed the will. And I guess he forgot about that agreement. And so when he passed, he left the business to my dad, a business that he had already purchased 3 times. And then he left all of the assets and everything like that to the rest of the family. And so that business is only worth anything if you sell it. So, like I said, I was 30 at the time, just had a baby. I didn't have any assets to be able to take out a business loan to buy it. So, and learning from his mistakes, no offense, but learning from his mistakes, I didn't want to make the same deal.
Sure.
There's got to be a cutoff, and we were so behind the times. I mean, it was 2015, and my grandfather's office, he had a typewriter. He didn't have a computer. He had a typewriter. Come up those stairs. We still smoked in the office.
Wow.
2014 up until I got pregnant. I mean, people would come up and pay their bills, and we're putting out,
wow.
like pretending, like nobody could tell that we were smoking in there. But I mean, it was about as old school as you can get. And so the company that my dad ended up finding to purchase, they offered more than anybody else, and they purchased us as well. So like, it's not just that we sold the agency. I was bought too. I had a 2-year contract with the company that we went to, but came with big pay raise, so that was good. And it came with opportunities that I never would have had either, because it was corporate and national. So we went from an office of 4 people to a company that had, I think at the time they had 1,500.
Wow.
So
talk about a shift overnight.
Seriously, right. And we had a file room. It was about this size, and it was just lined with filing cabinets. All of our policies, every single document we had was on a sheet of paper stapled in a file alphabetically in a file room. This was up until 2015.
Wow.
Yes. So when we sold, we had to get up with the times really quickly. Yeah. And I was in charge of doing that. So, with the company that we went with, they had an agency management system, which was lovely, except for the fact that you had to put the people into the agency management system. And at that time, most people had an Excel sheet and, you just send the file off. But me, I think it took me 9 months because we had 2,000 clients and it was 60 years. I mean, we were only keeping 7 years of records, but I mean, these files are this big for our big clients.
Sure. Yeah.
So I would have to take each and every single one of them and put them into the system.
Wow.
9 months took me to do that.
Freaking wow.
But I learned the system real well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If anybody knew the system, it was you.
It was. I became an expert and that. And becoming an expert, now looking back at it, helped me in the next 4 jobs that I had. So it's like I got thrown into the fire, but my whole story is going to go back to everything happens for a reason.
Sure.
Like there's a lead up to everything. And that one was, I had 9 months of intensive training for no other reason than we were just still stuck in the 1980s. Mm-hmm. So.
But there's something so homey about like working in an office like that.
Oh,
I mean, with 4 folks.
I really did. I loved it.
You are smoking in the office. I mean, they've got a typewriter in the boss's room.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds so fun. Like coming to work was fun.
Right. It was. But I mean, and thinking back on it, I became so complacent. Like there were days that I walked in there and the phone didn't ring. My dad would go play golf. We'd be listening to music. I'd play, some game on Yahoo for 8 hours and then I go home, So it was fun, but I wasn't going anywhere like that. Because it was comfortable. It was great. I loved it. So pros and cons, obviously. So, and what I was making at that time was well under the going rate. So
do you think it was always in your path to join the family business? I mean, was there ever a time where you considered like, oh, I'm going to not do the family business. I'm going to go off and do something else, not even in the same industry?
I don't know that I ever really thought about what I was going to do, period, to be honest with you. I mean, I
didn't either.
Yeah. I wanted to be a pet trainer or something like that. But I mean, I was so engulfed in life and what was going on in life, that it was more of a day by day, and let's make it till tomorrow and then we can figure it out from there. So I don't think I had any aversion to it, but I didn't wake up in second grade and be like, I'm going to be an insurance agent. That sounds like so much fun.
No offense to insurance agents out there, but I don't think anybody does.
No.
I think you just find yourself in that business.
Yeah. So there's two types of insurance agents I've found. There's the people like me. We're the third, fourth generation. It's been in the family for years and years and years. We're the good old boys, girls, whatever.
Whatever the term is.
Industry, okay? We're the good old boys. And then you have the people that just woke up one day in their 30s and was like, I'm going to open up an insurance agency. And I've worked for both now. And that is why I work for myself.
Really?
Oh my God. Yes. I mean, the past 2 or 3 positions, and I said it in the interviews too, and then it ended up being true. I was smarter than they were. And that's not in general smarter. I knew the industry better than they did. I knew the markets better than they did. And then yet I'm having to, I'm getting yelled at because I put a comma in the wrong place on an insurance summary. And I'm just like, do you care about commas, or do you care about the $800,000 in premium I just sold? Like,
right.
Like where is it? And then the other difference, when you've got the people that grew up with it, and then you've got the people that fell into it. The people that fell into it oftentimes fell into it because of the money. They see it as good money, insurance. People are paying arms and legs for their insurance. So I'm going to get, some crazy commissions off of it. It's a money grab for them. And they don't really understand the industry. And then things get unethical, which leads to why I left the big place to begin with, because the focus then becomes on just getting the policy sold, not caring about the customer, not caring about the company that you put the customer with. Just get done, get the sale, get the money, move on to the next. And that's just not how I roll, not how I've ever rolled. The family industry, I can't take the caring out of that, because it's ingrained in me.
Yeah. I want you to explain to me insurance like you would your child. So I know what insurance is, because we all pay for it. Mm-hmm. But like the actual recipe behind it. Okay. So like if I go and I purchase, or let's just say I got a car insurance. I get car insurance. Mm-hmm. Who is holding that money that I'm to be given when I get in an accident or something? Like, where is that physical money at?
So what you're getting at is insurance is a legal Ponzi scheme.
Okay.
That's where, it's a legal Ponzi scheme. Your money is coming from other people's premiums.
Right.
The insurance companies take people's premiums and they try and make more out of that money. So they then invest it. So that's where you get like the BlackRock and the blah, blah, blah. That's way on down the line. That's not Progressive. That's not Travelers. That's not Allstate, State Farm. That is people you've never heard of. Right. But that's what it is. They invest it. They get a return on investment. That's their profits. They take those profits. They give some to the companies. Good job. Way to go. Here's a bonus. But yeah, brass tacks, if you want to get way down to the nitty gritty, it's a legal Ponzi scheme. It's taking your money, holding your money, and then giving your money plus somebody else's back should you ever need it.
I guess that's kind of like banking in a weird way.
Really it really
being
is.
fresh out of that industry.
Yep.
And listen, we're going to hold your money and we're going to give it to other people when they need it. It's literally, it's just so weird, because before I even worked at a financial institution, I was like, so do we just have, $30 billion sitting physically somewhere? And in a way, yes, but in a way, no, not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I don't really get it still, because I'm like, where's all this money just chilling at?
Right.
But it's chilling in things. And that's, I guess, how insurance works too. If my house burns down and I'm getting a check from State Farm, they're going to take it from where it's being invested. They're just going to say, hey, or is there just like a massive bank account somewhere that State Farm's like, we're going to cut a check made out to this guy?
Yeah. So it's not State Farm. I mean, there's underwriters, behind State Farm.
Sure.
So yeah, it's not State Farm. It's not Allstate. It's not any of them, but it's their investors. Reinvestors is what we call them.
So insurance agencies, to cut you off, is just the middleman, really.
Yes.
They're the ones that are just the customer communicator.
Yes. So, I mean, because you can go direct. So the insurance agent, me, is for the person that gives a damn about what they're protecting. So somebody who, they just need liability only car insurance. They're just trying to stay legal.
Yeah.
Go to geico.com. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
The agent is for the person that has multiple homes, multiple cars. You've got kids in school that are about to drive. You need higher liability limits because your homeowners. And I go more. I like property insurance better when I'm trying to explain insurance because you're protecting your biggest asset. I mean, what is your biggest asset in life? Your home, your property. You spent, anywhere from $200,000 to, a couple $1 million on it. So, you hear people complain about insurance premiums on the property until their home burns down.
Right. They're not complaining then when they get that check back.
Right. You've been paying let's just say a high policy, you're paying $4,000 a year property insurance on your $700,000 house, but your $700,000 house just got, blew up or whatever happened.
Hurricane blew away.
Exactly.
Make it relevant.
Yeah. And let's not get into hurricane insurance.
Is that a big deal?
Yes. Yes.
That sounds like a scam. Not a scam, but like.
So it is. We'll get into that. That's a whole different.
I mean,
beast.
I guess when you get down to the nitty gritty, insurance is just paying for something in case of the worst happening.
Yes. And nobody likes it until the worst happens.
Right.
And it's there.
Right. When I was young, my parents will remind me of when I was younger, I would argue with them. Why would I pay for insurance? I'm never going to get in a car accident. I'm not going to get a car accident. Why would I pay for something that I'm never going to use? And they're just like, well, unfortunately, it's just not how the world works. Right. You just have to pay for it. Right. We all do. Yep. All of us pay for it. Probably 75% of us never use it.
Hopefully.
But it's just one of those things. You just got to pay for it.
Yep. And then the other thing that people get confused with is the difference between property and auto insurance and health insurance. And I hate the fact that a deductible in property and auto insurance means the complete opposite of what it means in health insurance.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know the difference.
So a deductible in property insurance, it's something you need a new roof. Okay. And the insurance is like, okay, we'll give you $25,000 for the new roof. You're going to come out of the pocket the deductible first. $1,000, $2,500, whatever.
Right.
Okay, great. So, you got
to pay $1,000 first, then we give you the $25,000.
Exactly. And people are like, well, why is there a deductible if I pay a premium? It is to deter you from filing itty bitty claims. They don't want you, your home insurance isn't there to fix your TV if it gets struck by lightning. Right. It's there to rebuild your house if it gets struck by lightning, goes up in flames, and burns to the ground. It's to put you in a hotel for 6 to 9 months while the insurance company rebuilds your house. And that's another thing that people don't understand. Well, if I have insurance, why can't I use it? You're using it for the wrong thing.
Right.
But back to the health insurance part. Health insurance, it's kind of the same, but you want to file the claims in order to reach your deductible so that they will start paying. So it's, it's the same but different. And in that part, I have a hard time explaining to people, which is why I don't deal with health insurance.
Yeah. So to piggyback off of something you just said, could you take a loan out against insurance? Is that possible? Like that guy that says, why can't I collect the money that I'm paying for every month? Well, could you take a loan against insurance?
So your homeowner's insurance isn't required by the state. It's usually required by your mortgage.
Yeah, I was going to say the lender.
Yes. So you don't have a lender. You can do whatever you want. You don't need to insure your house. You can have however big deductible you want. The lender that is on the line for 400, 500, 700,000. They want their interest covered.
Of course.
Because you haven't paid that yet.
Right.
So it's the mortgage companies that are requiring homeowners insurance, not the state of Georgia, not like auto insurance. Auto insurance, if you have a car on the road, you have to have insurance. Otherwise, you're driving illegally. Homeowners insurance, you don't have to have it. It's your mortgage company.
What's the punishment for driving without insurance? Jail time?
Yeah.
Or are they just going to hit you with a fat fine and say, go get car insurance?
Depends on your record. If you've never had a record or anything like that, you've never done anything wrong, you don't have a whole bunch of speeding tickets or anything, they'll probably slap you with a fine. You need to get that done, or they'll give you a ticket, and then if you have insurance, by the time you go to court, they'll usually dismiss it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they're going to use it as an excuse if you're a punk, like
if you suck, then they're gonna.
Yes. It's just an excuse.
Imagine being cellmates with a dude that like murdered 4 people and they're like, what are you in for? I'm like, I drove 15 years without car insurance.
Let my insurance lapse.
Well, yeah, but there's people out there that do it.
Absolutely. I mean, my uncle's got like 3 bench warrants.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. He won't hear this.
Yeah, I will.
You think so?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
We won't name it. We won't name him.
No.
No.
Yeah, I've only got a couple, but that's fine.
He knows who he is.
That's questionable too.
Hey, if you're listening to this and you know who this, and if you know who you are, then give yourself a high five because you're killing it.
Love you.
Love you too.
You.
Oh, sorry. So at what point? So, okay, let me make sure I can get in your timeline right. Family business
Right.
sells to the big corporate thing.
Yes.
Is that the company that you left?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
that we won't name.
Yes.
Okay, that we're not naming.
Shall not be named.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
So I ended up working with them for 5 years.
5 years.
5
Okay,
years.
so you had a 2-year contract.
Yep.
5 years.
And it was funny. At the end of the 2 years, me and my dad were joking. He hadn't retired yet. He retired after 2.5. But it was the day our 2-year contract was up, and we both go into the office and we're like, you think we still have a job? Nobody said anything. Like, we had no idea if we were still employed. So, and how it worked out and how we ended up being purchased. So it was the office in Atlanta. It was a big commercial office. So had about 50 employees, about 15, 20 producers, and then the account managers, the secretaries, all that stuff. But they didn't have a personal lines. And what we specialized with King and Brim was personal lines, which is home and auto. And so, sorry.
No,
Okay.
I'm dialed in.
Yeah, all right, good. So we got hired on there. It was my dad, myself, and Allison, who worked with us for 20 plus years. I love her. If you're listening to this, I miss you. So we went over there and we were supposed to be autonomous. So it was supposed to be, just continue doing your thing. That's exactly why we purchased you, because we love the way you do things. Just modernize it. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. We get the same level of service that we can to our clients. But now we have access to, 100 times more markets than we did as a small agency. Mm-hmm. So, and that's where we ended up flourishing. And so, but at the end of the 2 years, that autonomy went away. And then, so I started butting heads with our management because they were really trying to go into more of a call center type of environment. Whereas obviously when there's only 4 of us, you can ask for somebody by name, get that person, have a dedicated agent. Sure. And now all of my clients, all of my family's clients, 2,000 clients are now being told, I can't answer the phone. I can't answer your questions. I can't service your policy. You got to go to this call center and wait until somebody picks up the phone. Mm-hmm. The problem with that is they didn't have any sort of I don't know. It was a cluster. So the phone would just ring. It's not designed for anybody to pick up, so nobody would. So it just ring and ring and ring and ring. I mean, people were pissed.
Did you lose a lot of people from that?
Yes. Lost a lot of people from that. I remember one day I ran out crying because I had answered the phone. It was a woman that had been, with the agency for 20 years. She was old as dirt. So,
Shout out to her.
Yeah.
If she's
no, no way.
No way.
There's no way.
She's still alive.
30 years old by now.
Yeah, no way.
There's just no way.
Keep going.
Anyway, so she was upset that I couldn't answer her question, and then I was telling her that she had to call this other number, and she seriously said, "Your grandfather would be so disappointed."
Ugh. Not hitting you with the grandpa would hate this.
And at this point, he's dead.
Yeah.
So your dead grandfather would be so disappointed with how you've let the agency go.
Wow.
I lost it. Because there's a lot of hurt, even though I knew exactly why it had to be done, what happened. I can't be mad at my dead grandfather.
No.
I can't be mad at my dad.
Is he still with us?
My dad's still with us.
Good.
Hi, Daddy. So yeah, I get it. It sucks, but I get it.
Yeah.
So once I got over the trauma, and I really had to restart my career. I had already been in insurance for 12 years, and at the other agency, we did everything. I ordered the coffee, I sold the policy, I serviced the policy. We did literally everything from A to Z. And at the new company, that's not how it worked. So I had to work my way back up. So I started all the way back at the bottom, just servicing policies after being in the industry for 12 years. So it was a huge demotion, even though it was a pay raise. And I was like, well, damn it, I'm going to prove myself. Why not? Really, it lit a fire into my ass. I had gotten complacent, and, now I'm in a position where, and the agreement that my dad made, he got a one-time payment, but at the end of the 2 years, he would get commission off of what we were able to grow. So that was my opportunity to kind of hopefully help him retire. I couldn't buy the business, but he was going to make extra commission. So I'm like, yes, I'm going to help my parents out.
Yeah.
So that's when I really started selling. And he retired in 2019. And then I'm getting kind of lost in
Lost in the details.
Lost in the details. Yeah. He retired. When he retired, he bought himself a 1969 Chevelle.
Of course.
That is his baby. And I think it's still in the shop. It's, money pit. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah.
But
it is
true.
It is.
It's a nice car though.
Yeah.
He looks good driving it.
You'll probably get that.
It's a stick.
Do you have siblings?
Nope.
Well,
yeah.
Learn stick. My dad also has a 69 Camaro. Camaro.
Sure.
And it's also stick. And he's like, you better brush up on the stick, which I do not know how to do.
I tried once. My mom had a 98, what was it? Firebird, the Ram Air, whatever. Yeah. And it was a stick, but it had a skip shift. So it would go from first gear to fourth gear.
Oh, wow.
And you couldn't put it into second, which is really hard when you're trying to learn how to drive a stick in a parking lot. And it goes from first to fourth, and you're in a V8, and it's scary.
Yeah, very.
So I never tried again after that. But anyway,
yes.
So Dad retires, and when he retires, I think Allison had already left. So those 2,000 clients that I brought over with, it went from having 3 people to service it to just moi. And then on top of that,
because of how many people left?
Everybody left. I was the only one lines.
Oh, man.
And I was the only personal lines agent in the Atlanta office, because that's why they brought us in to begin with. They wanted a personal lines agent to take their Atlanta calls.
Sure.
So, and we got them. And I had built a rapport with the commercial insurance agents. And so I was getting referrals off of them for their clients, their commercial clients, so that I could write them. So, I was kicking ass.
Yeah.
And so once my dad retired, I forgot about this. I forgot how I got my first promotion. This is so cool. I'm an idiot. So it was our location won top agency of the year. Mm-hmm. And so they threw a party for us at Punch Bowl Social.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the battery.
Yeah. All right. So, and the CEO of the company comes down, the COO, I mean, all the big guys, they hopped on their private plane. This company had their own plane. Like that's where we're at. Hopped on it and come down here to help celebrate. So at that point in time, I was by myself. I was trying desperately to get my managers to hire somebody to help me out. And I couldn't get anybody to listen to me. So we were playing pool, and I play pool. So not anymore, but I was. And so nobody expects that. So I'm like a natural pool shark, you know? So I got the attention of the CEO, and he's over there watching me play pool. And had a couple beers in me, and I was like, you know what? It's now or never.
Oh my God.
So I walked over him and I gave him all of my grievances. I told him, and I had numbers. I came prepared.
You had the facts.
I had facts. I'm not going to go anywhere without the facts. You know, okay. I'm definitely one of those that like, here is what I've done, not here is what I can do.
Right.
Which is a lot of people don't have. Anyway.
Right. They don't.
Yeah. So I went up to him and I'm like, look, I have been trying for, 6 months to get help. Here are my sales numbers. Like I'm servicing 2,200 clients right now. And yet I'm third in sales for the whole nation. Like imagine what I could do if you took those 2,200 clients away from me and all I did was sell. And he was like, well, yeah. Those are no-brainer numbers. I haven't even heard of you. And I'm like, well, here I am. Ta-da.
Wow.
By the next day, there was 2 divisions. He contacted the head of my division. So I went over a couple managers, and I'm pretty sure that's why I ended up getting the boot later on. But I went over a couple managers.
I was going to ask you, did they have a culture? I know some companies do. I've worked at one where if you want the answer to something and your boss doesn't give it to, or isn't giving to, or doesn't know the answer, well, I will just say, I'll just go to the source. And who knows the answer?
Yep.
And this company that I worked for said that was a bad idea. And I said, well, why would I ask a bunch of people that don't know the answer when I know one person does have the answer?
Yeah.
And I got a few talkings to about that.
I mean, it's not like I hadn't talked to my managers.
Breaking the chain of command is what they called it.
I didn't. I went to them first. They ignored me. So that's on you, not me.
That's what I would say.
Like I gave you the opportunity.
Yeah.
All you had to do was turn your computer on and look my numbers up. You know, it was substantiated, which is what the CEO did. And then he called the head, the COO. His name was Brian. I can mention him. He's the only person from that company that I still like. So if he does end up watching this, I remember you.
Shout out to you, Brian.
Shout out to you. You believed in me when nobody else did. So, and he did. He was like, with those numbers, you absolutely should be in a sales position. So he made that happen for me. He had my managers hire other people to take over the book. And I went more into a direct sales role. And within 2 years, I was the number 1 salesperson. So, from account manager with, paper files to
number 1 salesperson in the company.
Seriously. Yeah. And my number 1 year, I had ended up doing double what I had done the year before. So I had doubled my sales numbers. Like it was substantial. And at that point, I did the same thing, except for I didn't go over anybody. I didn't go to the CEO that time, but I was like, all right, I'm ready for the next step. Where do we go from there? And then I became the first W-2 producer for personal lines that they had for the company. I was going to be so I had, they gave me sales goal. It was a what do they call it when they can't take the money back if you don't meet your sales goal? Is that
committal? That's not it. Compete?
I had that too. We'll get to that. I'm telling you that you're going to get some cuss words when we get to that part. But it was non-recoverable.
There
Jesus. You go. Okay, non-recoverable. So I chose my salary, and as long as I made that salary, then I'd be good. And I was on track to do so. In fact, I was ahead of time. I had 3 years to meet my amortization or whatever they call it. And I was on track to beat it in the first year, when the biggest commercial producer had a client who was purchasing a farm for their employees. And in order to get it to close for the mortgage, they wanted to write it on a personal policy. But they were purchasing it under a business name, and they were housing employees, and there was literally nothing about it that fit the definition of a personal policy. They said, we don't care. This is our largest client. We need you to issue this policy so that they can get to the closing table. And the reason they're doing that is because they're trying to cheat taxes and get, a personal loan on a business venture. So it's just shady. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. Like, I'm glad you're doing so well and our company loves you. Keep doing you, boo. But I'm not risking my insurance license to write something intentionally incorrect, because that's my name. Yeah. My name is important to me. That's my name on that sheet of paper. And if anything goes wrong, if anything's found out, they're coming back to me. So I didn't write it. Come to find out, somebody did write it using my name. So
that's fun.
It was, and
sounds illegal.
Very, and it is very illegal.
Sounds fraudulent.
I went to my managers and I said, and I had emails.
Yeah, the receipts.
I had all the receipts, and I went to my managers, and it's silence, crickets. Nobody says a word. And so
it's like, how did you think this was going to go when I find out about it?
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. I found out about it and I was like, oh my God, and I have nobody listening or caring, or, I'm the number one salesperson in my division, but none of my own management is sticking up for me. And so I started looking for another job at that point. Mm-hmm. And I got another job. It was really easy. I kind of sucked at the job after I got it, but getting it was easy. But so I get the job and I put in my 2 weeks. Within about 45 seconds of sending the email to my manager, putting in my 2 weeks, I was locked out of my computer and I had the corporate attorneys emailing my personal email saying that any files I had, blah, 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 I was under a non-compete, a non-solicit.
What's a non-solicit? Compared to a non-compete.
Yeah, so a non-compete just means like I couldn't go open up another agency across the street from them.
Could you go work for another insurance agency across the street from them?
Yes.
Okay. Because I had to sign a non-compete once. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what it was for. And I did it anyway. It's expired now, I think. I hope.
Well, they actually, fun fact, about 2 months after my non-solicit non-compete expired, they made it illegal.
Yes, they did. They did pass a thing. I remember that now, saying that non-competes were
2 fucking months after my 2-year non-compete, non-solicit.
What was the what was the job that you got?
Head of personal line sales for a company based out of Alpharetta.
Okay.
So I was senior leadership. Okay. I was, hell yeah. Like before I'm 40, I am senior leadership. But head of personal line sales, they expect you to be the head of sales. Naturally. But so 2-year non-compete, non-solicit, it was the non-solicit that really fucked me up. And because it was not just, I could not directly or indirectly go after previous clients of mine. I could not accept if a previous client of mine came to me asking me to write their insurance. I could not accept their business for 24 months after I left that company. And if you will remember, that company had 60 years of clients, and it had 15 years of my clients and my family and my friends. And I had drained that well dry years ago. And now all of a sudden they're off limits, like completely off limits. So yeah, so I did the next job at the head of personal line sales, and within 2 months of accepting that offer, I also filed for divorce from my now ex-husband. And that combined with not being able to touch anybody I've ever talked to, my sales numbers weren't great. I tried a lot, and they tried to kind of help me out. I butted heads with their head of accounting. I don't do well with some type A women. I know that's hard to imagine. But yeah, so I went through the divorce. I got fired. I got fired a month after the divorce was final. So yeah. And then the divorce, I told you, I don't want to get into specific numbers, but I had to, I bought the house from my ex-husband, bought the equity out. And then we had the whole thing with the retirement account and 50-50 split. And let's just say I had started mine at 21 and he had started his 6 months before then. So that was
bullshit.
Yeah. I hate anyway. Yeah. But so just all of that in the span of a year. That all happened 12 months.
What a year.
Seriously, it hadn't gotten much better, but it has in different ways. Okay. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I got fired from that job, went to another job. The guy was crazy. He was kind of like my ex-husband, just narcissistic. He was a guy, he used to run gyms. Just woke up one day and he was like...
Gyms or gyms? Oh, okay.
No, gyms.
I was what does that mean?
Workout, gyms, sports centers, whatever.
Sure.
And he was rich. I mean, his daddy had a lot of money. And so he lived in West Palm Beach. And he was like, I know a lot of rich people. I'm going to insure these rich people. So he woke up one day and opened up an insurance agency. And 2 years later, I went to go work for him. And I took another demotion, took a pay cut and a demotion to go to that job. I went from the, senior leadership to this guy's account manager again. That's not the bottom of the totem pole, but there,
close,
but now I'm a single mom and I need a paycheck. So that's what you got to do. So I go to work for him and he was just nuts. The Florida market was nuts. He was nuts. Both of them went even more nuts at the same time. And it got to the point, my anxiety, I was scratching myself to the point of drawing blood. I was just like, what am I doing here? This ain't it. And he accused me of lying about something stupid to lie about. Sent him the receipts, whatever. And finally I was like, you know what? This ain't it. I'm not doing it, bro. I quit.
Yeah.
Only job I've ever just straight up quit. There was no notice. There was no nothing. It was, and I gave him a piece of my mind. He knows exactly why I left. I bullet pointed it for him.
Wow.
And I blocked him and blocked his wife because I knew he was just poisonous. So I quit as a single mom, no job.
Smart. Good decisions.
It really, that one was maybe I should have, no, but it worked out, and you'll see why. So I quit it was the last day of the month. I don't remember if it was the last day of June or the last day of July. It doesn't really matter, but it's important because I quit on the last day of the month. The next day, I'm trying to keep my mind busy, and I start pressure washing outside on my outside patio. And I had this candle from White Barn. I love this candle. It was $40. Broke within the first 5 minutes of having it. And I'm like, I did not pay $40. The wax is still there. It still smells lovely. Mm-hmm. So I had gotten to the habit of I would break off a piece of wax. Again, I'm smart, but not smart. Break off a piece of wax, put it in a little saucepan, heat it over low heat on my stove.
It's a candle.
Aromatized, Mm-hmm. So anyway, I did that while I was pressure washing, turned it on, needed to pee, go pee. That is all it took for me to completely forgot that I had put something on the stove.
Oh,
so
no.
I go outside and I'm pressure washing, and I don't out of the corner of my eye, whatever, I see flames. And I'm seeing flames all the way to the ceiling, and I got 10-foot ceilings. So this is a big fire. The wax had completely evaporated. All that was left was the oil.
Jesus.
So continuing on my brilliance, I grab the saucepan to go throw it outside. And when I grab it and I turn around, obviously the backfire and it blows back in my face. Panicked, I toss it forward like that. Well, all of that oil came splashing on my hand and I got 2nd-degree burns all over my hand.
Wow.
So the day after I quit my job and my insurance expired because I quit my job, the fire department comes and they're like, you need to go to the ER, get that bandaged up. And I'm like, yeah, but I just quit my job yesterday. I don't have any health insurance, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God.
mean, the pain, I've never been in so much pain in my life. I would not wish burns on my worst enemy. I had an emergency C-section with not nearly enough pain meds, and that was nothing compared to 2nd-degree burns on my hand. I was shivering, I guess a shock. Like they had to hold me for hours because they couldn't get my blood pressure down.
Wow.
So anyway, so I go get bandaged up, and on the way home from the hospital, we passed by this last place that I went to go work for. And I was like, it was right outside my neighborhood, literally 1 mile from my front door. And I was like, I'm going to hit this guy up and see if he needs somebody to come work for him. He was more than obliged. Awesome. Yeah, come on in next week. We'll interview. So I go in there and I interview. And I like him. He's a good guy. We get along great. It's a great area. Obviously, it's the best of both worlds because it's a mile away from my house, but I'm not in my house. So I don't have a commute, blah, blah, blah. Problem is, it's commission only. There's no base salary whatsoever.
Hate that.
So I'm like, all right. I believe in myself. So I take out a personal loan. So I took out a personal loan to pay my bills for 12 months while I build my book of business. My non-solicit non-compete expired last year, so I could go after my previous book of business again. So I was like, let's go. It's now or nothing. So I go work for him. And honestly, I loved it. I loved him. I loved his brother. We had a great time. We joked around. I mean, I get along with anybody, but it was a good atmosphere. And around January, he got into talks about partnering, merging with another agency. Been there, done that.
Yeah. Yeah, you have.
And, now I'm 40. I'm 40.
Or during that time?
No, now.
Okay.
But this was a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah. This is all still pretty new. This is where we're getting. So he starts getting in talks, and, he's with a bigger company, so I won't give their name, but he works for a franchise.
Okay. Understood.
That's important. And she does not work for that same franchise. This is her agency, and he's merging without telling his franchise that he's merging.
Ooh. That sounds not great.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
That sounds not good at all.
Not good at all.
Nope.
I don't have, my name's not on anything. I mean, I have made myself the senior VP, but it was more of a joke, than anything. But it was a joke that I put on the freaking website. He let me.
Yeah,
He's like,
for sure.
Yeah, you want to be the senior VP? Be the senior VP. I was working on the website. I was working on SEO and trying to get it all whatever. So I was like, I started kind of backing up, and that's when I started the aMOOsing designs. And I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. I do know that my bank account is going down and not up. And, my 12 months that I budgeted for myself is coming up quickly. So I need to find some other sources of income. So I started photography, and then my pictures are okay. But by doing that, I found Fine Art America or something, which led me to Shopify, which led me to Printify, which led me to Canva is another one I like. All of my AI art that I make is from Canva.
Is it?
Yep.
I love Canva.
This was my first design. You got beef, bro. So it was, and it's AI. So I've always been creative. I'm funny as hell. I just can't draw. I'm not artistic, but I can tell it. If I can tell a computer, tell somebody else what to draw for me, great. So I started doing that. And so I started that February-ish, filed for LLC in May. And then May is also when the sale, not sale, merge, not merge happened. And now all of a sudden I had a boss that I had never met before. My pay had changed without them telling me. My pay is in my commission amount. They adjusted that and then was like, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to tell you. So anyway, the plan was that I was going to retire from insurance. Like, this industry has been kicking my ass. Obviously, I need a break. Like, I keep getting my ass kicked over and over and over again. So I met with an attorney about the commissions and everything like that and came up with a plan. And I was going to approach the guy and, like, not a buyout, but a buyout. So the commissions with how it worked was you get paid based on how the customer pays. So if the customer pays for the policy in full, you're going to get your commission in full. If they pay for it monthly, you're going to get the commission monthly. So if everybody pays in full, you're all well and great. You're going to be paid up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But if they don't, so that's where the gray area comes.
Sure.
The other gray area, and the part that really put my numbers so far behind, is because he was with a franchise. The carriers had to pay the franchise. The franchise then had to pay him. Then he had to pay me. So oftentimes we were 2 to 3 months behind on commissions.
Okay.
So I proposed to him. I was like, here's what, in a perfect world, I should have made. We'll split this in half. You give me one-time buyout of the half the number, keep the rest, keep the clients. I continue to refer people, but more on like a referral basis. I'm not actually doing the quoting. I'm not in the office every day. I am taking a back seat. I'm going to take that money, focus on my store. I just rented a booth for my merchandise, got the LLC. So I'm like, that's going to buy my merchandise for my store. It's going to pay the bills for a couple months while I get everything else figured out. And I continue referring business. Yeah, that sounds great. And we had this conversation over the phone because he had gone to go fuck off somewhere during the middle of the day. And he's like, come in next week. Well, we'll talk about it. So I come in, we talk, and I show him the paperwork. I show him my numbers, like, hey, bro, I did this much in sales. I understand it's kind of wonky how that works. But he was like, yeah, no, that's fine. Is there anything I can do to change mine? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, I'm just burnt out. At this point, I'm fucking burnt out. This industry is chewed me up and spit me out, man. And so he was like, all right, well, I'll write up the numbers, write up the paperwork. You can come back later this week and sign it. After I left the building that day, that conversation apparently had never happened.
Right.
So I never saw a dime of any of that money. And now he's put a really sour taste in my mouth. I'm not going to go back to him.
No.
So now I have no money.
You're not going to go back to him and give him a big fuck you?
Well, yeah, it's what I ended up doing.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, that's where I'm headed.
Okay.
So yeah, I had no plans really of opening up my own agency. And when that happened, I cried for a couple months.
Yeah.
And then was like, non-competes are illegal. I didn't sign anything with him. There's nothing to say that I can't take every single client back that I want to, or that I can. Obviously not everybody's going to come over, but so far so good. I just started August 1st. Like,
we are very fresh, a couple months in.
Yeah, August 1st. Yeah, I guess is when I got the agency license. So Got everything set up for the agency in August. And then last month was my first real official month. And I got my first client was the last client that I sold with him, but it was also the largest client that I had sold with him. So I didn't make a penny off of that account. So that was the first count.
Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about the company that makes your morning drive happen every week. Are you looking to elevate your business and your brand? Hammerhead Creations is here to help. They offer top-tier marketing services, including social media management, website design, and Google page optimization, ensuring your business reaches the right audience. Whether it's a side hustle or your full-time grind, their expert team, me, is ready to help you grow. Plus, if you're into podcasting like me, Hammerhead Creations offers full support for both in-house shows and external podcast creation. From concept to production, we will help you bring your ideas to life. Visit www.hammerheadcreations.com and discover how we can take your business or your podcast or both to the next level. Hammerhead Creations, swim with the big sharks.
I wanted back because that was a good chunk of change, and it was my relationship. I've known the guy, for 18 years now because he came from King and Brim, the family agency. So that was my very first account, and that was my big fuck you, bro. Like,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Bet that felt good.
Oh, so good. So good. So, and that's where I am right now. So I started my own thing. I'm working out of my house. I've partnered with, a place that gives me access to some carriers. It's not perfect. The market sucks right now. Personal lines sucks right now. So I'm better equipped for commercial, but because of the last however long we've been talking, I now know commercial because, when my dad left, I took over his commercial book. He had $1 million commercial book. So I got thrown into the fire trying to figure that out. And so that led me to where I can be flexible and go with the market. And now that it's my own agency, I don't have to worry about, nobody's going to sell it out from under me.
No. If anybody sells it, it's you.
It's me. Yes, exactly. So I now own my book of business. So if in 5 years I don't want to do this anymore, I can sell it back. I can actually make money. So I've always was going to be an agency owner. It just took a hell of a fucking detour to get there.
Yeah, I'd say so. Jesus.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that's not even including, you want to talk about a shit show. I'm borrowing my neighbor's car right now.
Right now,
I'm borrowing my neighbor's car because the week after I left, I went on vacation with my friends. It was girlfriend's 40th birthday party. So we go to her cabin in Murphy, North Carolina. And on the way home from North Carolina, I am at a stoplight and a car rolls into the back of my 2014 Ford Fusion. And the guy was in a lifted truck with a giant ass tow winch on it.
So when you say rolls into, you mean slammed, destroyed your car?
I mean, he was doing less than 5 miles an hour, but they totaled my car.
Wow.
Totaled my car, and it's just trunk damage. But the second that the insurance company declares it a total, they have to turn it into the state. So I ended up buying the car back from the insurance company. They gave me $4,000 for it. Gee, thanks.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah. I got $4,000 for the car. The original repair estimate was $6,900. I got $4,000 for the car. And what the hell am I going to buy for $4,000 fucking dollars?
Piece of shit.
Yeah. So I bought it back, and it's sitting at a guy off a Univator Road up in Canton, trying to see if I can salvage it for less than $6,900 so that I can have a car.
Good God.
But that was July. What's today's date? October 16th. Yeah. That happened the week after July 4th.
Jesus Christ, dude. You've been dealt a lot of shit.
Yes, I have. And it all plays out. Like, it all plays out exactly the way it's supposed to be. I wouldn't be here today if the family business hadn't sold. If we hadn't sold and I had to get the original family business up to speed technology wise, I think I would have gone bankrupt. You know, it was just, we were just too far behind. And then selling to the giant corporate, I mean, you want to talk about knowing the ins and outs and ups and downs. And because we were autonomous, I was also our accountant. So I got to learn accounting on the fly too, because I was having to keep track of our commissions versus the commissions of the company. So all of that. And then you go to the place where I was head of personal lines. That's where I learned SEO. That's where I learned, how to build websites and make the website better. Mm-hmm. And then, this last guy, I'm still trying to figure out the lesson here because it's so fresh. But really, I guess the lesson is when he was talking about doing the merge, I was like, if you want access to more markets, why don't you consider this place, which is the place that I ended up partnering with. And I hadn't thought about them in, 10 years. So, it's all working out. I just have absolute shit luck, but a great attitude. And so you gotta take the shit and make a shit sandwich. And, at this point in time, I don't have any other choice but to make it.
Wow. What a story, dude.
Yeah.
So why cows?
I have no idea. I really don't. But if I go back and think about it, like my parents had their kitchen was decorated in cows and stuff like that. But thinking back on it, I'm pretty sure I'm the one that made them buy it. So I guess I've just always liked cows. Like when I was in high school, I had my Jeep had cow print seat covers, and I had a stuffed cow. And
just always love that black and white kind of.
Yeah. We're in black and white now, yeah. So, and there's a lot of puns to be made from the bovine kind. And
the bovine kind.
Yes,
wow, no one's doing bovine.
No, I can't use that in my SEO because nobody searches bovine.
What kind of words do you use in your SEO besides cow? Moo.
Moo. So I've got Sir Moves a lot.
Sir Moves a lot.
No, Sir Moo.
Okay. Sir Moves a lot.
Yes, he likes big calves and he cannot lie. And then I've got the Moo tricks.
Oh my God.
And then I've got the cow dressed up in the armor, and it says that is sirloin to you. My shirt that says you got beef, bro.
I do love that.
Yes.
You know what happens? I learned this from my cousin. Whenever I get a spam call, I answer it and I say, Logan's Beef Farm, what's your beef?
Nice.
Or I say something like, Logan's Cow Farm, what's your beef? Or something like that. It's great. They hang up immediately.
Yeah.
But I get a good laugh out of it.
Yeah, I just made I don't want to get political or anything like that, but it was there. So Make America Moo Again.
Hey, I like that. I'd get that hat as long as it's not bright red and white.
Orange.
Okay, orange is good.
Yeah.
Orange is good. Because if you wear a red and white hat anywhere.
It's gang colors now.
It is. And it's like everyone does a double take to make sure.
Yeah.
And it's believe what you want to believe and support who you want to support. But it's just iconic at this point.
Yeah.
And in the point of I went to a concert last weekend and Post Malone.
By the way, I have a Ghost Malone t-shirt.
Ghost Malone.
Ghost Malone. Should you want? Anyway, go ahead.
And my friend, she wore a red and white hat, and I had to be it was a Budweiser hat, but I thought, oh my God, you're wearing a red and white hat. Yeah, right. Basically, might as well be. Just made the connection. So Ghost Malone.
Ghost Malone, yes. That's a drop shipping. That's not my own design. So what I did to expand my audience, the cow stuff on my website is mine. Anything that's got a cow. I got into cats too. So I've got a meowdy little kitten dressed up like a cowboy. He's so cute.
Oh, I do see it. Ghost Malone shirt.
Yeah.
And it's got Oh, that's kind of fire.
I'm saying.
Is it girls only though? Is this a girls kind of thing only?
No, I've got most of the stuff in there is unisex, clothing wise. But
this is kind of fire.
Yeah.
Ghost Malone.
I'm saying.
He's got little face tats.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute.
Isn't it? So that's part of the drop shipping. So, I do Printify for my designs, and I've got, you name it, I've got it. Got shot glasses, coffee cups, beer steins, frosted beer mugs, tumblers. I've tried socks. I didn't really like the way the socks were coming out, but I just made a wall calendar for 2025 with most of my cow designs. Not most of them, all of my cow designs. So like a moss cow in Moscow. Look, dad jokes. Come on, there's an audience.
There is an audience.
There's a total audience. So
I respect it. God, I love this.
Which one?
Ghost Malone. I can't stop looking at it.
That's not even my design. That was just me picking it out from the drop shipping catalog. I was like, that's cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
Ghost Malone. That's fucking fire. Okay.
Anyway. I'll expect to see an order from you later. Anyway.
Yeah, you might.
Okay.
You might.
My friend Christina, she already purchased it. So
yes.
And she said it's like handmade, like really soft. So it's a good damn t-shirt.
Shout out to Christina.
Thank you, Christina. So, but yeah, that's what I love doing right now. I mean, I'm really good at insurance and everything like that. But again, I'm still burnt out. And my goal with my agency is not to, be a multi-million-dollar agency within 5 years. It's to have a place where my family's legacy can continue for the people that want it to continue, and, give good service to the people that come to expect good service and then been waiting for me to be available, because I care. And that not a lot of people freaking care. Most people care about whatever the commission's going to be, not how they got to it. And I will forego commission all day long in order to avoid being sued. It's for selfish purposes. I don't want to be sued for selling you something wrong.
Right. I understand that. I understand.
Like, you absolutely. Then you think that an insurance agent, if you go before a jury of 12 peers, you think any of those 12 peers want you to win?
Yeah.
So just do it right the first time. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot in you.
I do. I talk a lot too.
That's good though.
Okay, well, I mean
it's
for
good
this
for this.
purposes, you're right.
Yeah.
You don't have to fill the air.
Yeah, no, you don't.
No.
It's been a solid, good amount of time of you talking, which is good.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of the time where I have to try to fill in awkward gaps.
Right.
And it's kind of weird.
Yes.
And I'm like, so what else do you like?
Right.
And
what's your favorite color?
Sometimes black.
I know that. I was asking you, what is my favorite color?
What is your favorite color?
You should know this. We talked about this earlier.
Blue.
Yep. See, you panicked and then you remembered.
Yep.
Yep. Pull out the evening gowns. It's time for the costume change.
I got mine in there.
Nice. Sparkles?
Yours does. Yeah. Hopefully it fits.
Obviously.
Hopefully it fits.
That's not important. We'll make it fit.
What other kind of tea you got? You look like someone that's got tea.
Oh man, I've got so much tea. What tea you want?
Anything. God. Lay it on me. Anything we're allowed to talk about.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. You gotta.
I really just don't want this to end.
I mean, I've got things to say about everything. I'm one of those. I'm better at taking somebody else's idea and running with it rather than coming up with it myself.
Damn. At least you know yourself.
I do. No, I'm not making these t-shirts. I'm getting somebody else to do it.
Somebody knows. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to make shit happen. And there's people out there that, like yourself, that can take an idea and you're like, I'm going to run with it. Because a lot of people might say, oh, I might, selling merchandise online, like that sounds fun. Like I could make passive income doing that. Mm-hmm. And it never goes anywhere.
No.
You made it happen.
Yeah. Well, you know why it doesn't go anywhere, as I figured out. And here's a little tidbit for you. It takes hundreds of fucking hours on the back end in order for anybody to find your site.
Did you make your site yourself?
It's a template through Shopify, but yes. essentially. So, and that's what I'm good at. I can't do it from scratch, but you give me a program and a template and I'll do that sucker right up. And that's how I did that. So
I was going to say, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. As a guy who makes websites.
Yep. So, and then I made, oh God, what was that?
What is this?
Is it a pop-up?
I don't know.
Is because
it's tits.
Yes. Okay. I posted this on Facebook.
Why are there tits here?
So, okay. So
look at that. There's just
actual nipples. I screenshotted that and posted that on Facebook last week. So the problem with SEO.
Yeah.
You do those backlinks and I did it to where it's not supposed to be adult sites, but I guess bras aren't considered an adult website, but that's just straight up pepperoni right there. Well, 2 of them. Like there's no blurring, no nothing.
No blurring. And now I'm on their website.
Exactly.
Not because of pervy reasons, but I'm more just concerned with the fact that they're allowed to put this on the internet. I mean, there's no blurriness.
No blurriness.
I mean, it's a lingerie website.
Yes.
And I mean, these pictures are
on a cow pun website.
Yeah, what if a middle schooler stumbles upon your website?
Okay, well, look here. So I'm going to hire you to help me. No.
I can help you. I'd love to work with you.
I might actually need it because I only know so much. But you know how much people charge for SEO and to set websites up. And I ain't got that money. So I learned to do it myself.
Fun fact, that is, there's a lot of nipples on this website and it's kind of making me uncomfortable. So I'm going to actually click
Go
off.
back to the cows.
On the cows, and there's more boobs over here too. But we love that.
We got udders now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that want to charge an arm and a leg for SEO or just for anything marketing related.
Anything. It's like $5,000 a month.
Yeah, no. I won't do that to you, sis.
Thanks. I ain't got it.
We should actually talk about that after this.
I'm borrowing my neighbor's car.
Oh, look. Only a few items left.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, we got to work on some of these pop-ups.
Yes, because that's the only pop-ups I get. I don't get
It's just all porn.
It's just
lingerie. It's not porn. It's just lingerie.
It's just lingerie. It's kind of like my
might as well
Facebook.
be. It might as well be soft porn.
Yeah,
it's just porn with only one person.
algorithm.
I mean, my algorithms are pretty messed up too. If you like one thing, they just start showing you a bunch of that thing.
Yep. So it's same with screenshots though. And I don't think people realize that. They can tell that you took a screenshot of something. So you don't have to share anything anymore. You just linger on that photo for 30 seconds and you're screwed. Yeah,
because they can tell how long you were scrolling and when you pause, they can see a lot more shit than people think they can see. People are just like, oh, they can see my data.
Yeah.
Every company has your data. Yeah. I'm not worried about my data.
Yeah. Do one advertisement.
Sell me things that are relevant to me and I'm cool with it.
Yeah, right?
I don't know how many times I've bought something based on an ad that is definitely something that I looked up 3 weeks prior. And I'm like, this is a sign from God.
It is.
I need to buy this.
You need Ghost Malone.
When it's just SEO. I'm telling you what, that Ghost Malone shirt is fire. I'm going to send it to like 8 people.
Good.
So with it being on your site, do you make anything from it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So drop shipping, it's essentially I'm purchasing it wholesale from them. And so they're making a profit and then I'm making a profit off of them too. So I'm reselling at that point. But the only reason I did that was just to
get people on your site as well.
Appeal to more audiences because not everybody has the same cow obsession.
Do you think you'd open a boutique?
I have opened a boutique.
Like a physical one?
A physical boutique.
You have a brick and mortar boutique?
I do.
Where?
The booth at the market in Woodstock.
Really?
I did. I opened that up July.
You have a whole ass store?
It's not a whole ass store. It's a store in a store. I've got a booth inside of antique store.
Are you in? God, I feel like I've seen your stuff somewhere else. Is it in anywhere else? Are you in Ackworth, downtown Ackworth at all?
It's not downtown Ackworth. No, because she was in Canada. I signed up with there's a wholesaler site that sells your stuff to retailers. It's like at the bottom of my page, Fair. And I got a bulk order last month. And
hell yeah.
Well, it cost me money.
So doesn't everything.
I lost money on it, but it's fine. It was, again, a learning curve. The shipping God, the shipping is insane.
But is all this automated so you're not touching it, but you're paying for it though still?
No, I'm touching everything.
You're shipping everything yourself?
No.
Okay.
No. So Printify, that they have manufacturers, so I design it. I get a catalog of the types of things that I can put my designs on, and then I design it, mark it up, make the descriptions. But then it's print on demand. So somebody orders it, they print it, and it gets shipped out. The downside with that is the first time somebody orders a specific pattern, obviously it's going to take longer than if the template's already been made, since it's print on demand. So I've got slow shipping right now, which slow shipping is going to push you further down on the Google Analytics. And so it's all a process. It's all a learning curve.
This is fucking awesome. The French Bulldog statue key thing.
Yes.
Why don't you have one in red? That is a missed opportunity.
I actually think I do.
I actually think you don't.
Well, then I will go onto the website and make sure I add that variant.
You have a black one, and the black one is great.
Okay. But
you have an orange one.
Uh-huh.
No red one.
No
At least
red
not in the pictures.
I feel like maybe there's a separate listing.
Maybe there is. But either way, this is fire.
Okay.
I love this.
Good.
The fact that they can sit on the tray, but also in his mouth. That's hilarious.
Right? I got good taste, man.
You do. I really like the style.
Right.
It's all like fun shit.
Exactly. And that's like my entire life. That's what I want.
Just fun shit.
Yes. Like life is too fucking short to be miserable. So
all of this, and you're still a mom too.
Oh yeah. I got a kid too.
How old is the kid?
She's 9. She's about to be 10.
You have a 10-year-old kid?
Yeah. She's amazing. Her name's Savannah. She's on the spectrum, but she is like, she's brilliant. Just, and so sweet. I just love her. Well, sweet when she wants to be, I should say. She does.
Sure. She's a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah. And mine.
And yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay that.
Danger.
Yeah, right?
Wait till she's a teenager.
Oh, I don't want to.
That'll be fun for you to navigate. Good luck to you and your
angel.
You and her father to figure that out.
Oh God, I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
But no, she's awesome. She's super into Roblox and PKXD or whatever. But
she like Minecraft?
She's not yet. She'll get there, I'm sure.
Yeah. Minecraft is a lot compared to Roblox.
Yeah, but I mean, like I'll go on. I monitor her stuff, and she is a pro at CapCut. Like I'm gonna have her start doing my videos for me, because she's like coming up with these creative 3-minute videos. She's got like one video's got like 19,000 views on it. And
where is she posting them?
YouTube. Videos
for you?
No.
Oh.
No, videos for herself at this point. I'm trying to channel that, she needs to earn her keep.
Yeah,
so
she got to do her part.
I'm saying.
I was gonna say, what would you pay her?
I'm not paying her shit.
What would you pay her? What would you pay someone to do that for you?
A roof over their head and dinner every night.
What if I've already got a roof over my head?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll get there, but I can't pay anything. Again, driving my neighbor's car.
Yeah, sure.
So I haven't. I'm successful personally, but I am not successful financially yet. But I'm getting there. I mean,
of course, it's a progress.
It's a process, and I'm so lucky that I had it to begin with to lose.
Right.
Like it sucks that I lost it all, but if I hadn't have had it, I would be so much worse right now. So again, it sucks, but it's turning out exactly the way it is. And, I'm not going to take the dollar for granted ever.
Sure.
I'm not going to take opportunities for granted ever, and now I'm finally working for myself. So I don't have to take direction from anybody ever again. I was never good at it anyway, apparently. So don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, well, that's the goal.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So like living the dream, just waiting for the money to catch up with the rest of the process. But it will. I mean, it is, like I said, first month did more than I did at that last job. So I just got my first commission check 2 days ago.
Hell yeah.
Mine. This is my commission, my name on it. Is awesome. My taxes are going to be an absolute fucking nightmare this year, but
good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to definitely hiring somebody this year.
I thought you were about to say I'm about to have diarrhea. Honestly,
I mean, a little IBS here and there.
Yeah,
never hurt nobody.
I need to hire someone for taxes as well.
Yeah,
I don't know who to use.
I don't either.
There's too many freaking people out there that do it.
My mom did it for me for years, and then I did it the last couple of years because it was easy. And then this last year has just been I
just need somebody to tell me all the things I can write off and what I can't.
Yeah. You pay money for that. I mean, literally anything. I know anything that you do for your business, you can write it off. And I know that the standard deduction,
but you can only write it off one time though, right? Like I wrote off this a few years ago. I can't do it again.
You're still using it. Why can't you? I mean, you can't write off the purchase price, but you can write off Wi-Fi or any supporting software you pay for to go with it.
Yeah, I save all the receipts.
You should.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Yeah. Probably should though, because tax season's coming.
Yeah. Well, I
got a few months, but it's coming.
I know I did TurboTax last year, and what was really cool with that is you could link it up to your bank account, and it'll extract what it thinks are business purchases for you, and then you can go in. So,
that's fun.
Yeah, that was a nice head start. At least, it's not going to catch everything, but it's going to catch a big majority of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
So yeah. What now?
So, every interview I do, every conversation I should say I do a collection of questions that are very first date like.
Okay.
So if you love first date questions, and they're very simple, but they're just kind of a way to make everybody seem like we're all similar. Okay. Because we are very all similar.
Absolutely.
So different, but so similar at the same time.
Yeah.
Are you ready for these questions?
Ready.
Guys, I want to tell you about another friend of my show, Your Light Marketing. If you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur trying to figure out how to stand out in a crowded market, I want to tell you about Your Light Marketing. These guys are all about helping you create a marketing strategy that's true to who you are without pushing you to follow trends or gimmicks that just don't feel right to you. They specialize in helping people build custom growth plans around their unique story and mission. So if you're tired of trying to be like everybody else and you want to attract the right customers, aka people who really resonate with what you're all about, then this is the team to talk to. Go to www.yourlightmarketing.com to book a free strategy session with them. Trust me, they will help you build a plan that feels authentic to you and gets results. Again, that's yourlightmarketing.com to book that free strategy session call with them. Your Light Marketing. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, shit.
Ready or not.
What genre?
Any genre. Hit me.
Stop it.
Romantic comedy.
I don't like romantic comedies.
Horror.
I don't like horror.
You're killing me, Smalls. Comedy.
That's a good one.
Comedies.
I like psychological thrillers. So I like Signs. I like M. Night Shyamalan or whatever. Yeah. The Sixth Sense. I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
I watch action movies. I don't really like them. Pretty much anything that Denzel Washington does, I like. Just because he's amazing. He's a good actor.
Okay. Good answers. Yep. Good answers. I like them.
Okay.
What was your first job ever?
Loaded. So when I was 12, my parents told me if I wanted stylish clothing outside of my birthday and Christmas, I needed to get a job. Didn't matter what it was. I'm an only child. I don't like children. I still don't like children. I like my own, but I don't like other people's kids. Sorry for anybody I know that has
I think
kids.
Most people agree with that statement.
Yeah, they won't say it, but it's very much true. Other people's kids suck. So Yeah. So I didn't want to do babysitting. So I started my own pet sitting business.
Look at you. Entrepreneur at heart.
Literally. I remember it was pick art. And I would get like these little pick art puppy and a kitty, and I put it on top of the paper, and I made myself little flyers and walked to any house that I could reach within walking distance, stuck a flyer in their mailbox. And I mean, I had clients that I ended up insuring. So I started that business at 12. I did it all through high school. And when I would come back from college, and then at King and Broom Insurance, I insured a couple of them just because they're neighbors, but still.
Wow.
So that was the first job. My first official paycheck was at a candy store in Roswell, and it was called Sweet Georgia. And we would get maybe 1 to 2 people a day. So it was basically me just eating candy all day long.
That sounds amazing.
It was amazing. And then I got fired.
You have a knack for that, don't you?
No.
I'm just kidding. Why'd you get fired?
I've only been fired twice. Yes, twice. So
why?
Shout out to my friend Casey. So the owners went out of town, and we were in a shopping center, and I don't remember what, but anyway, they went out of town. My friend Casey comes in to come say hi, and she goes, "Oh my goodness, we have this same cash register at Hallmark," which is where she worked. So she starts pressing a bunch of buttons, and then the cash register locks up, and it doesn't work no more. Oops. Not a big deal. Not the end of the world. Certainly not something I should get fired over. But anyway, so long story short, I leave. And the second shift comes in, and since the cash register is locked up, you have to take the key and open up the drawer in order to give anybody change. So she takes the key and she unlocks the drawer, and she takes the key out of the fucking lock for whatever reason and sets it inside the drawer.
Oh no, what a dumbass.
And then shuts the door. So
shout out to second shift for fucking that up.
Seriously.
Wow.
Why did you take it out at all? It makes no sense. So anyway, so those two combined, because we had to close because we couldn't get into the money.
Fired, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
should have been fired.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Rank these 3 in your order from favorite to least favorite.
Okay.
Queso, guac, and salsa.
My favorite to least, queso, salsa, guac.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheese rolls.
Yeah, cheese rolls.
It was either this shirt or a similar shirt that says "Just a Girl That Loves Cheese."
I saw that one on the site as well before I scrolled down to the bras.
So the bras are not mine. I do not have any cow bras.
No, that has legs though.
Or udders.
If you were getting the electric chair tomorrow,
okay,
what would your last meal on earth be?
Macaroni and cheese. Like a good macaroni and cheese. Like, a brisket macaroni and cheese. Brisket drizzled with some like spicy barbecue. Yep. Cavatappi noodles too, by the way, specific.
Yummy.
Yeah, I like the spirals.
You get to organize a music festival for yourself. Who are your 3 headliners?
Oh, God. So I'm a techno freak.
Really?
So
you give me like Blink 182 vibes.
I wonder why. I mean, yeah, was it the Chucks? No, Tiesto, Armin van Buuren, and I will probably say Robert Miles, because Robert Miles was the OG. He was Children. I remember listening to that song on Star 94 on the way to vacation with my parents, and that became like our vacation song. We stopped by, I think it was either Turtle Music or Blockbuster Music at the time, showing my age, and we bought the cassette, also showing my age. Shut up.
Wow.
And listen to that nonstop. So yeah.
Techno.
So it would be a rave, essentially.
Okay.
Without the drugs. Because I don't do those.
Okay. Good deal. What does a day look like for you where you're taking care of yourself? A self-care day.
It's gonna sound so damn weird. Probably doing something in the yard.
Okay.
That is like my
escape.
Yeah. I past relationship wasn't really allowed to do much in the yard, didn't feel I was capable of it. So I had so many ideas. In the first separation, I actually like transformed the little space we had, planted grass and everything like that. It was beautiful until like a month after we moved back in. Anyway, but yeah, so getting up and working in my yard, making it pretty.
Heck yeah.
Man.
Heck yeah. What does success look like to you?
I'm successful. Success to me is somebody who is driven and won't give up, because especially because of Facebook and social media, I just see so many people just over and over and over again. My life sucks, blah, 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 but they don't do anything to change it. My marriage sucked, so I left. That job sucked, so I went to a new one. And the grass isn't always greener on the next side, but if you keep walking,
Yeah.
I definitely know that the swamp was not where I wanted to be. So I went from the swamp to, a little grassy knoll, and now I'm on my way to paradise.
There you go.
So yeah, success is only in mindset, because you can have as much money as possible and still be a shitty person, and it's not successful. You're lonely. And so, yeah.
Good answer.
I know.
Very good answer.
That was good. Okay.
What is a hill you're willing to die on? Do you know what that expression means?
So many.
Hit me with them.
Definitely.
Because a few episodes ago, I did one, and a dude named a hill that he literally was willing to die on. And in the moment, I realized what he was doing.
Stone Mountain.
And he texted me a few days after the episode had come out, and he was like, dude, my wife just called me out for being an idiot from your question. And I was like, hey, dude, I wasn't going to rain on your parade. The fact that he came up with an answer so quick, I was honestly impressed. But yeah, what are a few hills you're willing to die on?
Well, first of all, I don't know if you heard this. Did you hear they moved the laser show off of Stone Mountain?
I did not hear this.
Yeah. Moved it to a bigger rock.
You've got all the dad jokes.
I do. I'm a pro now. That I had to have an outlet for my dad jokes. Somebody's gonna approve of them.
Someone's got to be the dad.
Exactly. Ooh.
Cut that.
Anyway, hill I'm willing to die on. Broccoli is the most nasty vegetable food on the face of the earth.
I subscribe.
Okay. Cheese is the best.
Yeah.
I know you're probably looking for something deep, but there's not really a lot deep that I just stuck on. A lot of deep things I'm willing to hear out, but cheese and broccoli, you're not going to change my mind. Okay.
I just thought of one. Everything. Okay. If you walk on the left side of anything, you're a psychopath. You're supposed to walk on the right side.
Okay.
You leave a building on the right side. You enter the building on the right side. Mm-hmm. If you go through the left door, psychopath.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm very passionate about that.
Okay.
If I have one of those awkward interactions.
Is that American specific?
Maybe American specific.
I was about to say, if you're going over to a country where they drive on the opposite side, they might have.
Yeah, this is true. But there's been times where you go into a restaurant, someone goes out the wrong door, and there's an awkward exchange. Yeah. And then I always walk away from that exchange like fucking moron.
So
because I'm a nice person and positive.
I will walk, like if we're in a mall, not that anybody goes to malls anymore.
What's a mall?
I'll walk on the right side. But if you're lollygagging, I'm going to the left and I'm passing your ass. Like
that's cool. And absolutely. But if I'm coming down the hallway and my store's on the left side, I'll go to the left side. I'm not going to walk on the right side and then loop around and do a U-E. Is that shitty? No. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like Town Center Mall specifically, you know how sometimes it'll be one lane and then it'll split into two with stores on both sides. Yes. I will, if my store's there on the left, I'll go to the left to the store. Or should I go to the right and whip a shitty and come back?
I think it depends on where the store is in. If
like
it's
the
closer
path.
To the UE,
Okay.
then I think you do the UH.
Yes,
but
correct.
If you're just doing like a diagonal,
right.
you're not really walking down the
like
wrong
if I'm coming
side.
down here and the store entrance is right there, I'm just going to cut across to the store
it's
entrance.
It's just efficiency.
Yeah.
You know?
I like efficiency.
Yeah. I mean, these steps.
These are the things that people care about. This is the content people want to hear.
Whatever.
Hey,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
What's your biggest fear?
Fire.
Damn.
Literally.
Do I laugh?
Literally. Yeah, that is, I mean, losing my house or, that my kid, obviously. But I mean, if I guess dying by fire is a big fear of mine.
So you would take the drown option if someone was like burn alive option. Or drown?
Yes, in a heartbeat. I mean, I guess the only good thing that you can say about burning alive, no, there's nothing, because there's still going to be just excruciatingness before then. Mm-hmm. Drowning, it's just panic. I deal with panic every day. So
you'll be all right.
That'd be fine. Just breathe through it. See? Yeah.
And then lastly, 10 years from now, how is everything? Where are you? What's going on? Where do you hope to be?
Hopefully kind of doing the same thing, just comfortably and with my bills paid and, just enjoying the life that.
With your neighbor's car in their driveway.
In their driveway and my car in my drive. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm where I want to be going. So just to continue on this path and do all the things that I have planned.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a good goal.
It is.
Now, my friend, I give you the opportunity to plug, advertise the biz, advertise aMOOsing Designs.
aMOOsing Designs.
Advertise whatever you want.
Okay. Well, the aMOOsing Designs is aMOOsing. So my website is aMOOsingdesigns.com. My boutique, my booth is inside the market in Ackworth. So it's on the corner of Bells Ferry and 92 over in Ackworth. I'm on the left-hand side, but the entire place, I mean, it's ginormous. And I think they've got like 500 vendors or something ridiculous like that. Yeah, you could spend the entire day there. So, even if you're going there to see my stuff, you can still find a lot, especially with the holidays coming up. So I've got that. I'm trying to get listed on Amazon, but damn it, Amazon sucks. And then commercial insurance, I do personal lines, but like I said, the market's just terrible right now. So I can try, but don't count it against me if I can't do anything with you right now. But commercial, general liability, professional liability, workers' comp, I'm set up with at least a dozen different carriers. So, and I've worked on my website to where I've got some self-quoting and self-servicing options. So for the people that do like to do their own quoting and, their own certificates and stuff like that, I have 2 different options now on my website. And that's another thing I couldn't ever get my previous bosses to do, this InsurTech. It's coming, whether you like it or not. People are going to learn how to do things themselves. And when they do, you need to be able to benefit from it. So, and what I like about that is you can do however much or as little as you want to do on your own. So if you get to the first question and you don't know what you're doing, you pick up the phone and you'll call me or send me an email or whatever. But you get started and you get to the binding process and all's good and well, then you just click, sign, and then, you ever need a certificate, you print it off yourself. So
there you go.
Yeah. So my website is Shelby HRMC. So that is Shelby Hayes Risk Management and Consulting. So it's pretty much it.
Shelby, thank you so much for doing this with me.
Yes.
This was fun. I knew we would have fun.
Yes. I knew it would be cathartic. I've been trying to, like I said, the NDA just expired. I had a lot of people that I worked with at that last company because of COVID, and when everything happened, I just kind of disappeared and I couldn't say anything. And there was a lot of really fabulous people there that I worked with. I made some lifelong friends there. I made, I got the experience that I needed. And so, this was a therapy session. So thank you.
For
How
sure.
much do I owe you? No, just kidding.
Nothing. You owe me nothing.
Awesome. Good. Because I couldn't pay it anyway.
But what I heard though is I thought you just got this commission check recently.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, it was gone the second it hit my account.
I'm sure.
So,
I'm sure.
Cool. I haven't been late on anything, but
well, that's good.
Yeah, so far so good. Knock on wood.
Yeah,
but, it's definitely stressful.
Yeah,
it's a day-to-day thing, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
but everybody knows that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
In their
it's
own
a
way.
struggle.
Yep.
Times are tough.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, thank you for doing this. This was fun. I can't wait to inevitably place orders for some of the stuff on the site. And guys, if you like what you heard today, I will throw the links for Shelby's stuff in the description so that you can easily access it on your own time, so that you can book or reach out if you need any of the things that she does, or if you are interested in some of the designs that she has on her site, then you can purchase those. As like she said, the holidays are coming up, so it's good gift giving season. So there's something on there for everybody. I've looked over the website a couple times, and there is something for everybody. So you should check it out. Like I said at the top, leave a review if you would do so. Please subscribe on your platform of choice. Follow us on the socials of choice, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.